are here with me. I am Dee, and I just want to just give you guys some words of encouragement about a few things that's just on my mind. So welcome, come on in, make yourself comfortable. Go get you a little tea or a little wine, and let's just talk. Let's just have a little girl talk about some things that have been on my mind. So we're not gonna make this long and drawn out. We're gonna get straight to the point. Today's topic, what I want to talk to everybody out there about is peace. Protecting your peace and your space. Like, how important is that? We are going into the third quarter of 2019, and we have all these goals and all of these things that we want to do and exceed in, but our life is full of chaos. So you can't reach where you're going if you yourself are not intact. So let's protect our peace. And I know you want to know, like, how do I do that? Like, I hear that, but how do I actually do that? Well, I'm going to give you 3 ways to do it. And they just so happen to all start with D. I'll look down some because I wrote some notes. But 3 ways to kind of get in a groove of what it means to protect your peace and your space. And I want you to get some paper or your phone and take some notes. So look, let's just jump into it. So number 1, define what peace means to you. It does not mean everything to everybody. You know, peace is about energy, how you feel. Peace is linked to like your place, like your home. Is your home peaceful? It's linked to people. Are the people you connected to, are they peaceful? It's linked to your priorities. Do your priorities bring you peace? So peace is all about you, like you as a person. Are you peaceful? So you have to define what it means in your life to have peace or be peaceful. That's gonna look a lot of different ways for a lot of different people. For me, peace is about just having a sound mind. You know, the Bible says that God will keep in perfect peace those who keep their mind on Him. So if I keep my mind occupied on things that are good and pure and loving, I'll have peace. Peace for me is laughter. I love to laugh. I'm silly. I joke. And so when I'm in that space, I feel peace. My home is peaceful. So in creating what I wanted to do with my channel, flipping it to this type of empowerment channel, I kind of went back and forth about, should I go to a studio to film? Should I do a backdrop? But then I was like, let me just do it in a comfortable place, like where I'm at peace. I'm at peace on my couch. I'm at peace in my home. I keep my home to a certain level in terms of cleanliness and decor. I keep things in my home that remind me of who I am and what I believe. Like this right here says life is beautiful, and it is. Things like that keep me in a peaceful place. I don't like confusion. I don't like bickering. I don't like arguing. I don't like to feel insulted or intimidated or you know, insecure. So I keep myself away from people, places, and things that are going to bring that upon me. So number 1, define what it means to be peaceful. Define what peace is to you. Once you do that, you'll have a better understanding of managing it. So you can't manage the money that is in your bank account if you don't know how much is in there. You know, you can't create a budget if you don't know what you're working with every month. So you can't protect something that you have not defined and you have not created. So define what your peace is. Once you define it, step number 2, design it. Design your life to mimic what you want. Design your life to mimic the peace that you've created, you know, the peace that you define. So if peace to you is drinking tea every night, which I love that. Do that. You know, don't say, oh, I'm gonna drink tea every night and then that's gonna bring me peace, and then you don't drink tea every night, you throwing back the crown. But listen, I'm not judging. But when you define something, you got to follow through with it. So design what you want your peace to look like. bring in things that will remind you of what you said peace is to you. Hang around people that remind you what you said peace is to you. If you said that hanging around people that are encouraging is peaceful, then you should not be having dinner with your friend who only has gossip to give you every day or every time you link up. So when you define it and you design it, I guess the part A of defining it is the follow through. I mean, of designing it is the follow through. Don't don't create something that you can't keep up with. And so creating your peaceful environment and your peaceful state of mind should be second nature to you. Like, it should not be something that is super hard to do. Now, it is hard to continually remain at a state of peace, of course. Like, no, it's probably hard for people to be peaceful 24/7. But you definitely want to try, and you definitely want to aim for that. And I was just having a conversation with someone who is complaining about the effects of a conversation that they were having with someone. But my thing was, you already knew that this conversation was going to lead you away from a place of peace. So, A, why did you even bring up the conversation? Two, why did you even have the conversation with the people or the person that you knew was going to bring you that much grief and frustration and anxiety? And oftentimes we do that, especially women. We create these waves, and then we become our own catalyst to drive us away from what is peaceful. If you have decided to cut off ties with a certain person, a certain man or whatever, but you continually to feed into negative things that he may be presenting to you, and then next thing you know, you're up all night, you're tossing and turning, you're worried because you have allowed yourself to drive yourself away from a place of peace. Like, this is not bringing me peace, so I have to separate from it, you know? And then the third thing is defend it. Listen, when I say defend it, I mean defend that thing like your life depends on it. Because guess what? It does. Defend equals boundaries. Defend your peace. Create boundaries. I don't care who gets mad. I don't care who gets frustrated. I don't care who says you've changed, you switched up, whatever. You are your first line of defense. You know, behind God, you are your first line of defense. Defend your peace. No. No is a complete sentence. No, I cannot. No, I will not. No, you cannot. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to make changes that are necessary for your peace. Don't be afraid to turn your back to those things that are adverse to your peace. Don't be afraid to defend what you've worked hard for, because number one and number two of this 3-step process is not going to be necessarily easy. So when you get into a groove of peace, like, I am so protective of my peace and my space, it looks very funny to people who knew me before. But something that I do want to point out, and that I think is very important to state, are two things in this. Number one, separation is amazing. Isolation is deadly. Separate yourself. Sometimes you need time to think, regroup, get yourself together. But isolation is time where the enemy, whatever you consider to be the enemy, to come in and have a field day in your mind. Like they say, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Isolation breeds a lot of unhealthy things. So when you completely isolate yourself from people, you are giving space to very unhealthy things to come in. But separation is necessary. Sometimes it's okay to take a break from people. It's okay to take a break from places. You may have to take, a few days off of work. You may have to send the kids here. You may have to not do some of your ordinary things every day to get a peace of mind. So it's okay to separate, but never isolate. And number two, don't have a cutoff spirit. Like in the past few years, the whole leveling up and all that stuff, it's been tied to cutting people off. Up, cut you off. Up, cut you off. And you just shouldn't move like that. How you should move is creating boundaries, defending your peace, and then seeing how people respect that. And everyone is human. Everyone messes up. Everyone disappoints sometimes. So what you have to do is consider what you're dealing with in people, and then determine, like, is this something worth just giving them their space and letting them figure out, or is this something so egregious that I do have to let them go out of my life? And just being very wise in that. So I just wanted to be clear in that I don't want anyone to get it confused. And I'm creating this healthy space of peace, and I'm peaceful, and everything around me is peaceful. And if you're not coming with the peace, then I cut you off, because that's not really the best thing. But with boundaries and defending and proper communication, you can say, right now you're not fitting into what I desire, so I want to separate from you. And while you're separate from them, examine that relationship. And that's a whole nother topic, girl. A whole nother topic. But yes, so it is the end of February, almost March. The new year is still fresh. Like, you can still start your new beginnings. You can still start your new phases. Before you do that, work on this. Work on your peace. Work on your peace of mind. Work on your, peaceful activities. Work on how to really cultivate a peaceful life. Because think about it. You can't invite anything in new if your life is in shambles. I mean, if everything is awry and disorganized and just all over the place, how can you create something new? So if my hands are balled up and all over the place, and I got 50 things going on in each hand, I cannot receive what is new and fresh. But if I release everything that's old, everything that's impure, everything that is painful and hurtful, my hands are open to receive whatever is new, whatever is fresh, whatever is for me. Create an environment to cultivate the glow up, the level up, the new year, new me. Create that environment so that things can flourish. Nothing's gonna grow in a dead place. So if your life is dead, nothing is going to grow. You're just gonna keep reaping the same stale harvest. Okay? So listen, this is gonna be a place to come in, holler at your cousin. I don't want to be an auntie or anything like that. I'll be your cousin D. And let's talk, girl. Let's just get this thing together. Let's figure it out together. 2019 is just gonna be amazing because we're gonna have each other. We're going to get through this together. I'm going to share my heart. I'm going to share my experiences. I'm going to share my my mind and the things that have been brought to me through experiences. And I really feel like God has given me a gift to speak, and a gift of leadership, and a gift of imparting into people with my words. I can't wait. It's going to be great. So listen, this has been long enough. I think you have enough information. I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and of course subscribe so you can be up to date on